it is story time with Downwell playing in the background. I will explain this game at a later date because it's a bit of a doozy. It's just a Downwell platformer. It's pretty roguelike and it's made by an indie developer. It's pretty fun. I think you'll actually get the gist of it just by watching. As you can see, I'm trying not to actually touch the ground. That's keep my combo up, because combos give you more gems, or the game currency is what there really is. And this is actually the highest combo I've ever gotten. So anyways, we're on to the story. Story today is the day that I flipped off a little girl, not intentionally, of course, and it would be a much better thing to hear that I was a little boy at the time. It still means I flipped off a little girl though. So anyways, it's April Fool's Day in kindergarten, and I'm strolling around like I own the classroom, like I'm telling kids like, hey, your shoe's untied. And they look down, I'm like, ha, April Fool's, sucker. Yeah, I was owning that day, dude. I was the king of April Fools. Now, this is child logic. Later the same day, a girl comes up to me and she tells me the same exact thing I've been telling everybody, is that, hey, your shoe's untied. Now, at this time, I absolutely believed her, because at this time, I was not tying my own shoes. And when it did happen, I had to ask somebody to tie them for me. Now, I look down and I see, they're in a nice double knot, like just as perfect as how, like, my mother tied them that morning. So I was like, dang, she got me. And I look up and she's like, ha, April Fools. I have a wounded ego at this point. So I decided to get her back. Sadly, not in the way I intentioned, and it kind of backfired. Now, this is a point in time where my dad at home, he would he was in this habit. He would point at things with his middle finger, and I think you all know that person. Like, instead of using their pointer finger when they point at something, they use their middle finger. And at this time, I still do it sometimes nowadays. So I'll say, hey, look over there, and I'll just be using my middle finger to kind of indicate where I'm pointing, Now this time I decided to use it a little bit more creatively by saying, hey, it says gullible on the ceiling. And of course the child, I was like, hey, well, it says gullible on the ceiling, and I point up with my middle finger, but of course I pull it up in the fashion that somebody would be flipping you off in a car. This was not intentional. I was just pointing to the ceiling, but yeah, and she knew exactly, like, at this time, it's just kindergarten, man. I had no idea the crime I was committing. And well, it's sad to say that she knew exactly what I was implying with that oh so glorious finger. And she did not look up, but instead she turned slightly teary-eyed and said, I'm telling the teacher. Now at this point, I'm freaking out, but I know I flipped out and I chased after her and said, wait, but that's just kind of where the memory ends. Remember, this is in kindergarten. I do not remember this point in time. Well, and so that's just kind of where it ends. But I mean, like, yeah, I really haven't really flipped off anybody, like, absolutely seriously, really, ever in my life. I've never been so mad to flip off somebody. It's typically, like, in jest with friends and stuff, for, for a joke, or, yeah, that's pretty much it. It's like, I've never really intentionally flipped off somebody before, or really ever, and so, I don't know, maybe that day will come, and maybe that day they will absolutely deserve that sign of the ultimate fuck you. See, here's the thing. Before I end this quick little story, how about next time someone pisses you off on the road, you shake your head like you're disappointed? They're numb to the fact that you're flipping them off. It doesn't really bother them. But then, you just shake your head disappointingly. And I bet that would send them into a rage. But anyways, I hope you guys have a glorious day, and I will be back soon enough. Yes, I have turned into Maine. Please subscribe for more content like this, and don't forget your daily quota of flipping off little girls.